Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach,
And I'm Pepper.
and today, as you can probably see in the title, we are talking about 10 games we immediately fell in love with as we were playing them, probably in the first play, likely. Um, yeah, 10 games we love at first sight, pretty much,
Yes.
for games. Love in first play. And yeah, we're just gonna go through our top 10 here. We don't know what the other person's picked,
Nope.
so we'll see if we're surprised at all. I don't know. We'll probably have, I'm guessing a couple crossover.
Oh, yeah.
Couple
Yeah.
crossovers, maybe.
I would think so. I would think so.
But you might be shocked at mine, Pepper. Might be
Oh,
shocked.
I am prepared to be shocked.
You better be. But
Yes.
yeah, in the comments below, let us know what games you loved in your first play of them. You immediately knew, wow, this is going to be one of my favorite games for quite a while to come, and I can't wait to play it more and more.
Yes.
Let us know.
Yes. Yeah, I'll lead us off here, and I'll go with maybe the one that I'm like least sure that I felt that way. It's one of our earliest games that we had, but I'm pretty sure we liked it. I kind of remember a post Thanksgiving morning, we had some casserole left over and we're eating it and playing this game. And it's just a wonderful feeling that it brings to me thinking of that time playing Five Tribes. And that was just, I'm guessing, one of our earlier plays because I think we had just gotten it maybe earlier that year, probably your birthday. So just a few months after that. And for how complicated and as many moving parts there are to this game, to get it that early in our gaming careers and not be pushed away by it is really a miracle.
Yeah, it really is because there is definitely a lot going on, and it is very, very thinky. But I think we both tend to like the games where you can just think and think yourself into a whole analysis paralysis, they say. We definitely both suffer from that, sometimes more than others. But yeah, I agree. I really love this one, and but yeah, I couldn't remember on this one if I loved it immediately after the first play. I don't remember not liking it, but yeah, this one did not make my list, but I did think about it because I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I think I've always loved it, and I'm pretty confident that I have, but I just wasn't sure
Yeah.
thinking back because it's been so long ago how I felt after it. If I felt overwhelmed at all, I can't remember because, like you said, it probably was a little overwhelming. So I was thinking,
Yeah.
well, maybe I didn't fully love it, but
Yeah.
I may have, I may have.
You
And
may have.
if you watched our list top 60 games last year, you would know I do love this game quite a bit.
He loves
So
it now, that's for sure.
if you if you want to find it, I would just watch through. You might have to watch almost all the videos if you watch from number 60, maybe all of them. Who knows? But that's a good pick. And this one, my number 10 is I think the newest one. It definitely is the newest one on the list, and it is Panda Royale.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And this was one that was actually this was sent to us by Last Night Games. They've sent us uh, mini games, so you can check out our videos on them if you want to. We have playthroughs of it, um, playthroughs of all the games that they've sent us, including this one, and it's just kind of wacky fun. It's rolling those dice. You can see there pretty much everything that you have outside of your scoring sheet, obviously. Uh, but yeah, that's pretty much everything in the box there. Mostly dice. You are drafting a die and adding it and to your kind of supply of dice, your pool of dice, and rolling them and seeing what results you get. So there's very little. I don't know. Maybe there might not be any mitigation. That's a pretty cool picture in the game. So it's not like a Yahtzee style game where you can kind of roll, a couple
Oh, yeah.
times, and, you know, keep certain ones and do it. If that was the case, it could be could add a little bit
Yeah.
more to it for some people. But I just have really enjoyed. We've probably played this one like 10 times,
Oh
and
wow.
we got it just earlier this year. So I really love this game from the very start because I thought I might just because it was like pure dice rolling pretty much, some drafting, but at the end of the day I was like, yeah, but seems maybe a little bit too lucky. Maybe I won't enjoy that, but there's just something about it that is just really enjoyable. I think it's just the fact that you're getting a bigger and bigger pool of dice to roll each time, and
Oh yeah.
you just want to see what happens. And it's so quick that I
Mm.
don't know.
Yeah, I played this one time. I think we did it over Skype or over Zoom, and I mean, I just had a
You
little.
didn't actually get to experience the
No,
dice rolling, but
I did not. I just had a little app open to roll digital dice, and still had a great time with it because it's so simple and easy to pick up.
Mhm.
Even if you're not there, you still can picture it pretty well.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah, that is a great one, and I know you've been talking great things about that one ever since your first play. So that is accurate. Uh, my next one, I'll put this one a little lower down because I don't know because it hasn't really stood the test of time.
Okay,
I but it is one that I do remember that first play, absolutely loving it.
so that's why Five Tribes fell down too.
Yes, yes.
Hasn't stood the test of time either.
Has not stood the test of time. Yes, exactly.
No, just kidding.
But this one was once my favorite game of all time. I just went crazy about it. I don't know what I was thinking. And that is Architects of the West Kingdom. I remember playing this one. I think you had gotten it for Christmas. It's definitely more a game you were excited about than I
Mhm.
was. And after playing it, we had played Stone Age before that, and I'm like, wow, this is like Stone Age, but better. With the worker placement, you place one
Right.
out there, you place two, then three, and you get more and more every time, and then you can wrangle them up. And I just really love this game, and one of the few times where I'm like, I want to play this game immediately again, right away. And I don't do that often, especially early on when it's a Zach game and I'm not as advanced at that point. Nowadays, I might be a little more willing, but yeah, that was just I remember being surprised how much I liked it, and I think if I went back to it, I'd probably have some good nostalgia and it would move up
Mhm.
my list a little bit. I just haven't played it in a while since I've started to cool on it, and I think there's some definitely more fun to be had with it from me. So,
Yeah, this one just missed my list, but it was right up there with uh, all of these ones. I really enjoyed it from the beginning too, and yeah, I think maybe it is some of that, just some common things that I feel like when we first played it, it may not have been like a race game to us, but it
yeah,
has definitely evolved into that over time. But yeah, I think there is definitely more to explore in it that we maybe even haven't yet. So
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
great game. Great game. I can't believe it's 99. It's going to fall out of the top 100. It's really kind of sad.
It is. It is.
I think it's fair. It's fair, but it's just kind of sad because, yeah, this one was my number one at one point as well. Number one game of all time. It's a good choice. Good choice. I'll be interested to see if this next one appears on your list. I'm not sure if it will or not. Because I didn't immediately think of it, but then as I was thinking, and maybe it shouldn't be on a list like this, but it is Clank Legacy Acquisitions Incorporated. Um, I I just had fun with this one from the very start. The story's amazing. Uh, this is one that's probably dropped for me as well post campaign,
Oh,
just
yeah.
because that part of it is what really I think brought it to that 10 out of 10 for me. I Yeah, great storytelling. I immediately backed their Clank Legacy 2 on Game Founder, Kickstarter, whichever one. So we'll be waiting for that this, I think, summer or fall, whenever it's supposed to deliver. Um, and I'm really excited for that too. I just immediately fell in love with this. I liked Clank system. I think we played the base game, or not the base game, but the original, like once at the Dork Den, and I liked it then. But this, I think, brings the game itself to another level, in my opinion, when you're actually going through the campaign and kind of changing things and stuff. It's just an amazing experience, and I'm guessing most legacy games, if you do enjoy it, kind of could be some of those that you just find to be the most fun immediately,
Yeah.
right out of the gate, fall in love with. So that's why I wasn't sure if it should be on the list or not, but
Yeah,
it felt good enough for me to be on the list.
it's interesting. Because I will join you here in a way, in a sort of crossover, because I just have Clank, period, just the entire system, which I base on that first play that we did have in the Dork Den, where we played it, and we played it wrong. We were taking
That is
cards,
true.
putting them, just
We were
gaming
not.
cards from the
I don't
deck.
think we fully understood deck builders at that point.
No, I did not. Like, I'm like, how could we have misunderstood that? Just taken from the market
Right.
directly into our
Draw a
hand.
card. We're just taking them from the deck. What do we do if we pull a monster? This makes no sense.
Yeah, that was. It wasn't. We were noobs
You
for
get
sure.
you get a great card, I get a bad card.
But yeah, it was still such a great system that even though we were playing it horribly, massacring the game, I still really love that game, and we had thought a lot about kind of what version to get. A lot of people love the original. A lot of people say In Space kind of eliminates that, and it's the better version. And I didn't even think, because I think we were newer to campaign and legacy games as well. I didn't even think of Clank Legacy, but you ended up getting that for my birthday, and it's one of my favorites. You can see on here that I have it rated a 10 out of 10. And I absolutely fell in love with that too immediately, which is pretty much my second play. So it's the same thing. It's pretty much my first play of Clank.
That's true.
Fantastic.
Awesome. That is a good pick, Pepper. That's a good pick. For my next one, I'll be interested. I don't know if you'll do this one or not. And I was debating, even though this did get into the ace spot for me. I was kind of going back and forth on it. But it is one of the games that got me into the hobby. I think you're gonna think the wrong one initially, but it is Ticket to Ride. There's something about Ticket to Ride that I think I enjoyed the train theme, but yeah, this was like one of the first modern board games, along with kind of I think I played it before Catan. I think I might have played it before. I think I played it before Carcassonne too. I think it is kind of the first modern board game I played, and just the train theme kind of spoke to me because uh, in our hometown there's the old railroad tracks that a lot of trains end up going through and stuff. I mean, you hear it all the time every night, and just kind of a nostalgic feel. Like I haven't at that point had not ever played a game with trains in it. Had only played, the Unos and stuff of the world, so didn't have anything like this. And you're putting train cars out, and you're going across a map. I guess it was Ticket to Ride Europe, but just the whole Ticket to Ride system. I just found it really, really interesting, and it is really what sparked my interest in like all these other games and stuff in this modern board gaming. And I just loved it from the start. Thought it would be one that hopefully our family would play, especially since our dad was one of the people loading trains and stuff all the time. Obviously, not doing that Ticket to Ride, but you could be.
Well, it could be. I'm sure there's an expansion that includes something to do with that.
Bringing grain across to America and the world.
Yeah, I this was one of my first ones as well. But yeah, I don't really remember kind of what my early thoughts were on some of the introductory games like Catan or Ticket to Ride. I'm not sure if I fell in love with them immediately, and I would say over time, definitely, at least Ticket to Ride for sure. I have grown to just be one of my favorites.
Mhm.
It didn't quite make the list. Which one? Okay, one that did make the list. Ooh, okay, I'll go with this one. Is another kind of more of a Zach game. I know there was a time we got just randomly, kind of one of the first times we just randomly got games, no holiday or anything like that, no birthday, and you had talked about a certain game, and then I brought another game to the table, and then we ended up getting both of these games. And interestingly, I would think the one that I said to get would have been the one you would say to get, and that was Rajas. Oops, misspelled that. Rajas of the Ganges. It definitely seems, especially back in 2019, this should have been Zach's suggestion. I don't know why I was the one suggesting this game.
That
Um,
is true.
but I think I'd watched a playthrough and I'm like, wait a minute, I understand those rules. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. And just a ton of great dice, very colorful. And for some reason, I just got really excited about this one. And immediately upon playing it, I think I multi handed a playthrough of this one. And I was like, oh, I really love this. I love the fame and the money kind of story and trying to intersect those two things, especially when you get a lot of fame in one turn and can chain bonuses together along the river or tile placement wise. Just so satisfying, so rewarding from that very first play. And I still think so today.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't even think about this one, but I'm pretty sure I really love this one from the start as well, just because it was doing the unique scoring, and like you said, it is definitely a Zach game with the worker placement spots and all of that, and all the bonuses you're getting as you're going up the river and stuff, and just bonuses in general. It it's just a really satisfying and a really fun game, and yeah, it hasn't left kind of my top games of all time since the beginning, even though it did. I think accidentally, if I remember right, it did not make my list last year for some reason. I don't know
Yeah,
why. I
I
think
think
that
you
wasn't
forgot.
it this game.
Fell through somehow.
It fell through the cracks. I don't know how, because it is definitely one of my favorites, which is really
Sure,
unfortunate.
sure.
But no, this is a great pick. He's keeping up the great picks for now. We'll see when he starts getting into some crazy stuff. I'd have to hold you guys back from going and getting those kind of games. Uh, then my next game is a more recent one as well, and this is one that uh, has the artwork of a game we've already seen, artwork by the same person, and it was a game on your list. And I think this was in the
Uh,
running, and people said they hated this cover, and I said, no, you're wrong. This is a great cover, and I still think that. And you do not like the wording on the cover, which okay, I maybe I can get behind that a little bit, but I like it. Yes, it is Nova Roma. It is Nova Roma, and I I thought, and I was hoping to really enjoy this one. This is one that I backed. It's from uh Half a Kingdom Games. I think that's the right company.
yep, yep.
It's from Stan Kordowski, and it looked like it would be enjoyable. Sometimes I feel like I get pulled in by that Miko artwork just because I really enjoy Garfield games, and I was just hoping that that wouldn't be the case for this one. And I just thought there was something interesting about this little system here of action selection. And oh boy, I don't know. I think that this is so simple but works so well, that system.
I
Like
can see
putting
that.
your people there and getting more and more powerful actions potentially. Trying to, well, in a two-player game, you're kind of putting out these red guys to block. If you can block them, that can, I mean, that it's not the best feeling thing, but
Yeah,
it's nice when you know you stop them from possibly doing a really amazing move. But then just everything you're doing in the game just, I don't know, feels so smooth and just works so well. And I just immediately fell in love with it. I was like, oh, I want another game to use this action selection system. It feels like a Garfield type of action selection to me, or just a mechanism in it. I don't know why, but uh, yeah, I really loved it from the beginning. And if you can get your hands on it, I don't know how easily available it is, readily available. Um, but I highly suggest looking into this one and checking it out because I don't know that it's like I don't know. I don't know that I hear that many people talking about it, and I think it's really, really great.
Yeah, I agree. This one is a really good one. I really enjoyed my first play as well. It was shocking how much I enjoyed it being a very Zach game for sure.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's a good one. I agree. I think we agree with all the picks so far. Uh, but yeah, I will go back and do the other game, the game that you suggested in those two random games that we decided to get. And I wonder if you remember what game that was that we got along with Rajas of the Ganges.
Was it Quacks?
It was not Quacks. I think we got Quacks just a little later that year.
Very much feels like Quack.
It it does. It
What
does.
was it? What was it?
Another
Any
game.
hints? But Bunny
It's
Kingdom. Bunny Kingdom.
Bunny
Yep.
Kingdom,
Yep.
which is so much more of something that I would recommend. It feels like just theme wise.
That's
Not that
true.
you wouldn't, but of the two, this seems like the one that I'd be geared towards. But you
That's
suggested
true.
this one. I think you were at college and shipped to our house, so I had first access at both of these games, and I think I soloed this one as well, and just absolutely fell in love with it from the first play, and I still love it today. It's a 10 out of 10, one of my favorite games ever. It's so rewarding, so satisfying, high scoring game, just beautiful, especially those pink bunnies.
Yeah, it's a good pick. It's another good pick. It's it is a lot of fun. This Bunny Kingdom. It didn't make my list, but I'm sure I enjoyed this one quite a bit from the beginning as well, and have continued to enjoy it. I give you a little crap about it every now and then, but I I do enjoy this one quite a bit. I think did this one not make my list either last year, or maybe just barely made it? My gosh, these two games back to back that are great games. You gotta
You're
check
just
out our
like,
list, guys.
well,
See
you have
what's
a
not gonna make it this time.
chance to
All
redeem
these.
yourself this next time.
That's true. That is true. Um, yeah, that is a solid pick. Uh, and then I've got one that we played on Board Game Arena first, and then ended up getting the physical copy of the game because I'm pretty sure I immediately liked this game. At least I remember immediately liking it. I could be wrong. Maybe you'll remember. As Nidavellir.
I thought so. Yeah, I think I actually played this one first, uh, and taught you the game and whooped you. And
I
then
would
you
not
beat
doubt
me,
that.
and then you beat me, and then I fell out of love. No, it's a great one.
So yeah, this is one where you are kind of there's like a hidden auction kind of where you have these chips that you can kind of increase throughout the game, increase their values, and you're bidding on three different kind of locations of cards that are set out at the beginning of each set of cards, I guess. So something like that, and you're bidding in each of the spots. Um, Obviously, if you don't care as much about it, you might put one of your lower chips in there. If you really want one specific card in the set, you'd probably put your highest chip in there trying to win that or have first choice. I
Mhm.
just think that it works so cleanly. I love the set collection of when you get one of each of the different kinds of cards. You get to pick a hero card, and they can provide different abilities, different points in different ways, can give you additional banners, so it could possibly, trigger off maybe multiple in a row. It's just a lot of fun. There's so much fun about it. I had to buy it. I had to buy it immediately, almost immediately. I don't know. It might have been a little bit after. I guess I don't even know if I bought it or if I got it as a gift. I can't remember, but I know I did get the physical copy at some point after playing it.
Yeah, it's
I don't know
it's
how
a,
many there are that I've had it that way, where I've played on Board Game Arena and bought the
oh
physical
man,
copy after.
we might have to look.
Might be. I think this is probably the first one.
think
if
so.
not one of the only ones.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a beautiful game. Beautiful game. Great, great. Okay, let's go with another board game arena game, and I had played a game. It's a sequel. This is a sequel to a different game. I played that game on Board Game Arena. Wasn't that big of a fan of it. It was a long time ago. I think this is how it wasn't a big fan of the original game and played the two-player version of the game and thought, wow, this is just so much better. I love this. I'm not a fan of that, but I love this, and I can't believe I love it so much more. And then I saw that Bruno Catala was brought on as a designer for this two-player dual version, and then it all made sense. This is Seven Wonders Duel. Just on that first play, I'm like, oh, this is so clever. It's just takes drafting and makes it so fun for two players, which usually drafting can get a little uninteresting in two-player games, as you kind of it's just determined who's going to end up with what, and there is a little bit of that in this, but
It can
you can
happen, yeah.
mitigate it in certain ways most of the time.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just having the different ways to win. I never want to win with points. I'm never going to go for that. I want to shoot the moon. I want to win by military or science. It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun, and yeah, it's might have a couple other games that have like other shoot the moon type strategies, but this is definitely the one that it'd be the first one I would think of if you ask if I have any games like that have a do something different to try to win, have different win conditions. And it's an amazing game, great game. Look at those two.
Thank you, Bruno. But yeah, I think we did get the physical version then after this.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Something, and
That's true.
I do prefer playing it on Board Game Arena just because all the costs and discounts are calculated for you, and I don't even know how to do it. I'm so spoiled with the technology. If it were placed in front of me, I'd have to check the rule book.
That is true. This is a solid one to play on Board Game Arena because yeah, it does keep track of all that somewhat tough stuff, potentially tough. But I think if you were paying attention, you'd get it figured out. You'd get it figured. My number 5 is probably the one. No, it definitely is the one that I've played the least. Played the least, and that's mostly because I don't think any of the other two people that I've played this with have enjoyed it as much as I have. And I just enjoyed everything about this. It's a big game, so I can understand. I get it. There are a few things about it that are a little iffy, but I just really love Fall of the Mountain King. This is so we've actually got 2 Kickstarters on here so far, Fall of the Mountain King, Nova Roma, that I've ended up really, really enjoying. Really happy that I backed. This is another hit for me from Burn Island Games. And there's these tracks as you're, influencing these clans and stuff. You're going for different points. Those little tokens there change, so it'll be different ones each time. But yeah. And then you've got some area control. And I thought, because I've played this one, we played it at 2-player, and I thought for a 2-player area control game, it was pretty good because sometimes that it isn't necessarily always as interesting when it's only 2. But I thought it worked really well in this one. And yeah, there's a lot going on and stuff, but I just found everything about this really enjoyable. You've got the main way you're doing your actions in this game to actually like move around and do different things are the cards that you're playing, and you are playing them on top of each other and then trying to get big areas potentially of same symbols to kind of get a more powerful action or benefit from it. And that to me, and then like in future ones, you can actually, for like say in this case where you have some of these already covered up, those white glove things would be actually connected because now that space, well, the white glove, yep, would be connected. Those two at least would be connected right now through that because you've already used that space this round. And to me, that I don't know. It's just really an amazing thing. It works so well. I wasn't sure if it would. I wasn't sure if it was going to feel good, but I really love that. And yeah, I suppose there's the red ones up there too that are connected to each other, sort of. Um, I just really love how that works. It's an amazing thing. I want to see this in another game. It's just so much fun. It works perfectly, I think. And
Yeah,
yeah, I wish it was a little less intimidating, a little less. There's a few rules that are kind of strange with I think the how the combat thing works out and
oh yeah,
how
do
you
they move
eliminate
and
things and stuff.
yeah.
There's a few things like that that I just wish were a little smoother because I think it'd be easier to get you guys to uh, play it some more if it was maybe a little shorter. But I
Yeah,
really love this.
yeah, he has from the very start, and feel bad that we aren't as into it as he is. Maybe more plays. It will grow on me possibly.
It's on the 20 by 5 we have this year, and so far it's had 0 plays. Michaela has not suggested this one yet, so we'll see.
How about a 19 by 5? Maybe that would be better. She's thinking. Okay, and my next one, let's go with another one. Let's stay in 2019. It's such a great year. There's some Bunny Kingdom uh, and the other one, Rashes of the Ganges. We got and a little after that. You mentioned Quacks of Quedlinburg, and that is one that I have loved from the start. But it may be included in another top 10 list. We are filming a group of top 10 lists, and I didn't want to have too much crossover between them, so I'm not having that here. But I am having another one we got along with that for your birthday, and that is Ethnos. This one, it's you wanted this one for your birthday, and we had ordered it, and then you didn't know that for sure. And we went to the Dork Den, and we saw Ethnos there, and you're like, well, let's try it out. And I'm like, oh boy, I hope it's good because it's on its way. This better be good, otherwise it's going to be awkward. And I think everyone there really loved this game. It immediately just started racking in the plays and has become one of our go-to games for a lot of player counts from 2 to the maximum. I think it handles it and adjusts very well, and it's just such a cool system of area control that I actually really like. As you're making groups of these cards based on either their color or their race, and kind of assigning a leader and scoring points based on the size of the group, and putting tokens out on the board and gaining points in all different ways. All the different races have their unique abilities and rules. It's so great. It's so much fun.
It really is. It's an awesome game. I must just not have like taken any of these games from this year because that was such a solid year of games. All of those are really good. I guess I just have a worse memory. I can't remember how I felt exactly, but I'm sure I liked all of these. I remember liking them all immediately, and like you said, playing all of these like a lot. This was before our collection was maybe the size that it is now, where don't get games played quite as often or as many times for sure. Um, but yeah, this is a great game.
Yes. Yeah.
Great pick. Wow, he just keeps them up, keeps them up. I'm just waiting. What's he gonna falter on? What sword is he gonna die on? My number 4 is I think the third and final one that I backed. So 3 of these have been crowdfunded, which is good. I would say when you do that, sometimes you don't know, and all 3 of these have been just brand new games. He knew it. He knew which one I was talking about, and it is Planet Unknown.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this one. I'm surprised. Why is this one not in the top 100 yet? If Architects is going to fall out, this one has to go in. This one is just a great polyomino game. When I feel like I was a little worried. This one took a while to deliver, but it did deliver, and I think the quality was better than I could have even expected.
Here was our actual first play. Did you
It
fall in love
was.
with it from
I will
there?
say, I probably didn't love that experience, but just because we had never used this before, I'm not sure. I'm sure it could be a great system,
It
but
worked. It worked
it did
through the
work. It
game.
did work. It
I
did
just
work.
did not. I didn't know what we were doing or the rules of the game, but
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, once we did get my copy, oh boy, yeah, this has become a staple as well. It works at all player counts pretty well as well because it's all simultaneous. You can see the lazy Susan there. One person is picking, and then everyone else gets to take from those two slots. So it's not like everyone is trying to individually, one turn at a time, decide out of all of them which one do I want. It's so much fun, and got like all these planet boards and corporation boards, combining them and stuff. They all do kind of different things, bring up different strategies and stuff. And yeah, I've enjoyed all my plays of this one. I immediately was like, yes, I'm so glad that this is as good as, especially once I opened it and saw all these great components and everything. I was like, oh gosh, I hope this is good because otherwise it's going to be really disappointing. And I immediately loved it.
yeah, it's a fantastic one. Fantastic.
I'm surprised you got it from just that little hint.
I knew there was another. There was one that you talk about being so satisfied with, one backing uh, more than any other. It's
That's true.
You mentioned your Nidavellir being a board game arena game that we then got and added a physical version to the collection. But my next one here is a board game arena game that we have not added a physical version to the collection.
Hmm.
And this is a new game to us, pretty new game to us, and it's one that we've played a lot. I know I've enjoyed it. I won't speak for you, but I have absolutely loved Sky Team.
I will spoil my number two. I also have
Wow.
Sky Team on here.
Crossover.
Crossover. Bing, bing, bing.
Bing, bing, bing.
Oh, this one's almost there, almost in the top 100.
Yeah, that is. That's pretty dang
Deserves
good.
it.
It does. It does. It deserves to win every single award, be nominated for every single award, and win it. It's a
It's an
fantastic
awesome
game.
game.
Yeah, it's hidden, kind of hidden information as you are trying to. One's the co-pilot, one's the pilot, and you're assigning, you're rolling dice, and then assigning them one at a time. You can't tell each other what your dice results are. You're trying to maybe hint or steer one way or another. You can discuss before the round what you want to do, but once those dice roll, uh, you got to figure it out. And
No talkie.
it is. It's so much fun and
It's a lot of fun.
great implementation on Board Game Arena. I don't know how it would be in person. I'm sure we'd still like it, but love it on there and just all the different ways, all the scenarios as well can really increase the difficulty. And it's just fun. It's a great simulator, even if it's nothing like actually flying a plane. To us, it feels like it.
It really does. I love this game. I love the theme. It works in a way so well, even though I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of things pilots need to know and stuff and need to manage. I believe that, but I don't know if it's quite this crazy of the pilot and co-pilot just not talking to each other and my gosh, swinging the plane back and forth and
Chugging
all that.
cups of coffee.
But yeah, this one's a lot of fun. I'm guessing we'll eventually get the physical copy of this one, but yeah, the Board Game Arena implementation is great. We've got a video, try before you buy, if you want to go see how it's played on there. We've got that, and yeah, this one was a bunch of great fun right away. I went to my first Gen Con last year, and this was one that we tried to race to go get, and that was before, well, obviously before I played it on Board Game Arena or played it at all. But I knew a lot of people had kind of mentioned it as like one of their top games they wanted to kind of get, or a good amount of people. And I was like, yeah, it sounds interesting, especially with two players. Two-player games are always fun. And in a way, I'm disappointed that I didn't get to experience it that way. But at the same time, I don't know. Maybe the board game arena implementation allowed me to love it right away instead of maybe just liking it a lot. I
That's
don't
true.
know. I don't know if that would, like you said, I don't know how it would have played it because I'm guessing it would be a little bit more. It would be a little bit different in person, but
Yeah,
I think it'd still be good.
yeah. So great pick for your number two and my number three.
Yes.
So then now what? I guess I'll go on to my number two, which I don't know which one to pick here. I don't know which one you're more likely to have. What I should do in that case. I will go with
I'm fine with
another
whatever you pick.
I will go with another 2019 game. It really was a great year. So many staples added to our collection, and this one was kind of the first of kind of a series. Generations have come from this game, and based on theme, and that is a game that you got me for my birthday, and it was wrapped in beautiful peacock pattern wrapping paper that I absolutely loved, and opened it up and saw an even more beautiful cover of Dinosaur Island. Love this one. I saw the cover and I'm like, ooh, it's just absolutely beautiful, stunning. Opened it up and saw all this color. A lot of components. A lot of components, but a lot of beautiful components. Amazing custom amber dice and little meeples and pink dinosaurs, dual layered boards. One of the first kind of dual layered boards probably that we had in our
I
collection.
think so.
It was brand new to us, blowing our minds.
It really was. It was a great design. Had a lot of good components and stuff in it. I'm guessing at the time we would have said this was one of our best productions of a game we
Yes,
had
yeah,
at the
for
time,
sure,
and top 10 at least.
for
Yeah,
sure,
this
for
one is
sure.
lot of fun, a lot of fun, and yeah,
Yes,
the dinosaur theme. I think we grew up liking kind of the Jurassic Park movies, so yeah, thematically it was one that we were probably more likely to enjoy, and
yep,
but yeah, the style of the game was probably more me than
yeah.
you,
That's
so
crazy. But the theme is just so well tied together with the mechanisms. You really feel like you are running a dinosaur park. It feels like Zoo Tycoon, and I think the theme definitely helped me get into this one because this was a pretty heavy game, and that was pretty early on.
yeah.
So over a three, probably my heaviest favorite heavy game at that point, and I just absolutely loved it. Became my number one game of all time, and I mean, if it had never been any other dinosaur games that maybe replaced it, I guess, kind of now, I would still be happy to play this.
Mhm. Yeah, that is a solid pick. Um, and I think this was also a game that was my first Instagram post.
Yes, yeah,
Hashtag Red Ranger.
yes. If you've made it this far, comment below. Hashtag Red Ranger.
Yes, yes. Um, but yeah, so I've got two left here. I'm in an interesting spot here. Could definitely see either one of these making your list, but I also have a couple other ones in mind that I think could be on your list. So I don't know, maybe neither one of these will be on there.
Yeah.
But I will say my number three first, and that is Tapestry. Um,
Um,
I immediately loved this game. It was my
also,
first taste of a Civ game.
yes. Oh, you're gonna mess with a lot of people there. This is pure Civ right here. But yeah, also a 2019 game. It's a great year. Great
Yes.
year for
When you
us.
said 2019 again, I'm like, oh, it could be Tapestry he's talking about. But yeah, this one's yeah, it's tracks and tracks and tracks. Um,
It's
with some polyomino there, you can see as well different civs doing kind of
some
different variable
nice,
player powers.
some nice looking polyomino tiles right there.
But yeah, this is just an amazing game that I loved from the start. Can't remember, did we play this one kind of back to back right away?
I think so. I think we did. Yes.
And now I'm trying to remember, did I in the first game we played of it together, did I pull that uh
Oh,
what was it?
the
The
dystopia.
dystopia, or was that you?
It came into play
I
early on.
know.
I
And I
remember.
kind of feel like it might have been me
It's
because
usually
it's
me, but
haunted me ever since. So
it's,
I kind of feel like I got it that first time, and ever since, you seem to get it every time at the exact right time and mess me over.
I do. Yeah, yeah. I remember playing that uh, for the first time, and I will say that yes, this is my number one Tapestry.
Oh
Uh,
wow. I
I
actually thought my number one would be more likely, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I remember this has got to be one of our most anticipated games that we've ever had. I remember following all the whatever designer diaries and all the little releases of little parts of the game, and I'm so excited for it. And I even was like considering, I'm like, oh, it's taking forever to ship. Maybe I'll make a cardboard version at home of this game and play it because I watch playthroughs and I know how it works. But I'm like, I could never find every single card and tile to replicate. So it's a terrible idea. I'll just wait. And remember playing it. I think I played it delivered to me before you, and so I did get the first go at it, and really loved my plays of it. And once we did finally get to play it together, it was just amazing experience, and we've loved this game so much ever since.
Yeah, 100%. It's an awesome game. I know people give it a lot of crap for maybe not being fully balanced in a bunch of areas, but I think to me that's the funnest part of the game is finding some of these synergies and stuff that happen
Yep.
that you might just get the best tapestry card at just the right time to mix with what you're doing, and it'll be really powerful for you. Or the next game, you get it and you're not trying to do something, and it's just almost pointless to you, which
Yeah,
might not be quite as fun. And I can understand that, but when they do work and you're getting tons of points, it's just so much fun.
it is. It is.
And yeah, experience that from the very beginning. But yeah, number one. I kind of thought and I'll just go into my number one, which I don't know if you have a guess, but it is kind of interesting that these two ended up being the last two I talked about because they are from the same publisher. Luckily, they were designed by different people. They weren't both designed by Jamie, but it is Wingspan, and yeah, this was one that was all the hotness for a long time when it first came out, and it was very difficult to get a copy of. I think it was just kind of an unexpected hit in a way. This was before I think nature games really started taking off,
Yeah.
and I don't know if they realized, or I would assume Jamie did not realize it was going to be like just this major hit. I don't think he would have guessed that. I wouldn't have at the time. I would not have guessed like a bird themed game would probably. I mean, you could assume it probably has a chance to do well. Uh, but yeah, I ended up getting a copy of this one. It was the first game, the first time I'd ever went to my friendly local game store, uh, just to check it out. I wasn't even going for this, and I see it, and I'm like, oh my gosh! It had been a game I had been looking at and talking about, I think, for a while, and I'm just like, I can't wait until it's back in stock and reasonable, not buying it on eBay for $100 or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was a copy there, and I immediately went and grabbed it and bought it, brought it home, and I'm pretty sure we played it a few times that first day.
I think
I
so.
just loved it immediately. Everything about it was just so awesome.
Where you said you had some surprise or something, and you brought your bag and you put it by the door, and then I think you ended up going golfing, and I'm like, I bet he got Wingspan because you had been talking about it a lot. I'm like, I bet that's what the surprise was. So I had to go. I had to go and sneak a peek, and I'm like, I know it, Wingspan.
Yeah,
And
I just couldn't believe it.
that was a great game, and I can't believe that you found it for a great price. just sitting there.
that too.
It's a sign. This is your local game store.
I know it was crazy because it was at the time like I think it was probably like $50 or $60, which I think is what it still sells for today. And at the time, I'm pretty sure it was going for like $90 to $100 on eBay, if not more. And I'm just like, wow, it's just crazy to me that no one else had even like just bought it just to just to go sell it
Yeah.
personally or anything. So, um, yeah, just crazy. Uh, and then obviously, yeah,
Fantastic.
great times with the game.
Fantastic.
I'm just I was thinking, I was like, maybe Jesse won't put two Stonemaier games on the list. But I
Mm.
thought there was a chance that both Tapestry and Wingspan would make your list as well.
I was thinking it, but then I'm like, I remember liking Wingspan right away, but I think I was a bit intimidated just because there was so much hype. So I think initially it was more of a okay, this is a really solid game, really easy to handle, and more kind of just like okay, it's cool. This one's cool. Not so much. This is my favorite game ever, but
Interesting.
it got there in the long
Interesting. So yeah, we did have two of our top three kind of match up,
run.
which
Yeah, I'm
I
surprised
wasn't
Sky
sure if that would
Team.
happen.
I'm
You didn't think Sky
surprised.
Team would be on mine?
I thought it could be, but once it got so late, I'm like, oh, I don't know if it's that high for him, but
No,
it is.
I've really loved it. I am a little surprised. I thought that Dwellings of Eldervale would make your list.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that as well, because that was another really hype game, and I do love it. I don't think it was like a slow burn. It was, I don't know. It was maybe just a slight feeling out right away, just to
Yeah,
actually playing it. And it is big. It is a big game. Maybe not as like light or easy to play as expecting, at least right away. But it is
yeah.
fantastic.
And for me, I think that's why that one and After the Empire,
Yeah.
both of those are bigger games. I think that's why both of those did not make my list. I was like, they might make Jesse's, but I I debated them, but then I thought there's just a few of those things about them that I feel like were just maybe a little bit to that next level of not being able to just
Yeah,
totally fall in love completely, but
yeah,
still really enjoyed my plays of those immediate plays of those ones as well.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so that's our top 10 games we fell in love with immediately. Let us know in the comments below if you agree with any of those, if you had similar experiences with any of these games, or if you hated any of our games that we loved immediately. Let us know. I mean, it's different experiences for everyone, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Or if any of these were maybe slow burns for you.
Okay.
Otherwise, yeah. Uh, like it if you've made it this far in the video, or thumbs down it if you did not enjoy the content, but for some reason watched this long. We thank you for that. Yeah, subscribe if you want to see future lists. But otherwise, we hope to see you on our other videos. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling our content.